Okay, then, so after the US, where did you go?
Well, I hitchhiked all around Europe.
Mm-hmm. Did you see post-war Germany at all?
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to go to Germany, but this guy wanted to. And I didn't enjoy it at all.
Whereabouts did you go?
Well, I started off in the south at
Munich.
Munich.
Yeah.
And got up as far as Hamburg.
Right.
And he wanted to do. His father was in the wholesale tools and that sort of thing business.
Ah, okay. So there was a business interest for him.
And he wanted to go to. There were a few trade fairs.
Oh, okay. In Germany.
So, and I schlepped along, but I couldn't wait to get out.
German trade fairs aren't your favourite occupational hazard? German trade fairs aren't your favourite way of spending a touring holiday?
Not at all.
So, and where else in Europe? What was Germany like?
We went to the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah.
It's pretty comprehensive. We were hitchhiking for about 6 months.
Oh my gosh! So which countries, and how did you, survive financially during all this? It must have cost something to live.
Well, I had all my bar mitzvah money to start off with.
Your bar mitzvah money? That must have been a lot of money.
Saved. Well, I didn't have a lot of money, but I'd also saved money. Doing my accountancy, I earned money as an article clerk.
Okay, and you saved that.
I saved money, but that was because I was staying at home and didn't have to spend much.
Right.
But my father helped.
Okay.
I always got financial help from him via my mother. She did
the begging, he did the giving.
She was the negotiator.
All right. Cool. So, how long did you tour around Europe, and were there any impressions? Did you visit Israel at all? Or?
Oh, no. Well, then this other guy left. I think he went back to England and spent time there.
So what are we talking about, 56 now, or which year?
Yeah, about 56. And I then, when I came back, I got myself a plane ticket, which stopped at so many different places.
Which airline, SAA?
I've forgotten. It was an old plane. I think it's British Air.
So you did the old route via Tripoli and Kenya and all that sort of thing?
Actually, I designed my own tour, which went Paris first. Well, I decided to go back to Paris. Then to Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
Then I went to Greece and Yugoslavia. And then Israel. And I spent
this is all by
2
air.
months in Israel. Staying on a kibbutz.
Was this with an airline? You went by air all over?
Always going by air.
Right. So you've moved, by the end of your trip, the world has moved from steamships and trains to aeroplanes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would have stayed much longer in Europe, but Zelda, my sister, was getting married.
Okay.
And
so you
I timed it to get back to them in time for the wedding.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
How many brothers? Oh, I've got just Zelda, the eldest sister,
yes,
and my younger brother Jacob.
Okay.
Who lives in Australia. Zelda died a few years ago.
Yes, and Zelda was older or younger than you?
No, she's my eldest, 3 years older than me.
Oh, okay. So she must have been born in like 28 or something.
Yeah.
Right. And what year was Jacob born?
5 years after me. So.
Oh, okay.
37.
Oh, okay. So there's quite a gap between the three of you. Okay. And you're still in regular touch with Jacob, yeah?
Yeah. Well, he's now Jake.
He's just graduated from Jacob to Jake.
Well,
and you graduated from to Chaddy to Chad.
Yeah. I've never liked the week.
Oh yes, okay. Chadwick, right. Okay, so then you went to Israel, which must have been quite a big thing for you on your way back to South Africa?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, Ike's sister-in-law lived in Israel.
Ike hadn't moved yet?
No.
Ah, okay.
Wally Mayer and what is his name? His sister. Gosh. Sorry, my memory is...
Okay, no problem. Whereabouts in Israel did you visit? Tel Aviv, Jerusalem? Or?
Well, I was living in Tel Aviv, but I stayed in... I stayed all over the place.
How long did you spend there?
And I stayed at Kibbutz Tzorah, which is a South African kibbutz.
And whereabouts is that in the country?
Don't know exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the
Kibbutz
for bedbugs.
Oh, wonderful. And did you work on the kibbutz?
Yes, but it was, it was very short term.
Oh. Okay, and then you carried on by air where to?
No, then I flew home to Joburg.
Directly from Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
Okay, with a couple of stops to refuel.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're talking about 1956, and you came back for Zelda's wedding?
Yeah.
Okay, and who did she marry?
Dave Druckmann.
Okay, and so tell us about the rest of the 1950s.
Well, I had to get a job, and it wasn't very difficult. I got a job with Transvaal Mattress, and I had actually, before I'd left South Africa to go around, I'd become a cost and works accountant in addition to being a chartered accountant. The reason was twofold. The costing side interested me more than the accounting side, but I wanted a pure English qualification.
Right.
Because I wanted that.
Okay, and what else? Did you see any change in South Africa when you came back after 2 or 3 years, or not really?
Well, to me, it really was. I was far more conscious of the
colour bar,
the privilege of the colour bar,
because of your trip around the world.
My complete dislike of it.
Okay, and what was your contact with if any, with Jeanette and Alan at the time? And
well, with Jeanette, I advised Jeanette what to do at university.
Okay, what did she do?
I think she just did a BA, but I've always been very fond of your mom, and still am.
Yes. So,
and contact with Alan is purely via Jeanette.
Peripheral. So you worked for Transvaal Mattress up to what year?
I think something like 57, 58. Not for long. Mm-hmm. And then I was very lucky. I saw an advert from a firm called Hollerith.
Hollerith.
Yeah. Who marketed punch card equipment.
Oh yeah.
And it seemed interesting. And I went there and I got a job. Mm-hmm. And this was in fact, they marketed punch card equipment. And
that's for computers?
No, there weren't, computers didn't exist then.
Okay, so what is a punch card? Oh, you mean for punching in and out of work?
You know these cards with holes in?
Yeah.
And if you sort them, you can sort them into different sequences.
Yeah.
And then tabulate, and you design pretty nice systems.
That's like an early computer, right?
No.
So what's the function of the card?
Well, if you punch a card, let's say that you wanted to do invoices.
Yeah.
You punch a card which has got the account number,
yeah,
the invoice number, and the amount.
Yeah.
And you then take all the cards and sort them into account number sequence, and so you can produce a list of what your sales were.
Okay.
But you then sort them into or you might duplicate it, but you then sort it into account number sequence, and you now can produce invoices
Right.
and then statements. And it's all sorting of cards, tabulating. Or you can merge them using collators.
Sounds amazing.
So it's all a series of machines.
Mm.
You also had a calculator, which would do fairly complex calculations all on the card. Taking
Right.
a card and
And the
that
heart
is-
of this was a
that
manual.
was, people might have thought that's a computer, but it's not. It was just a calculator.
Right. And the heart was a manual machine that related to the cards, right?
Anyhow, what is things? My job was going to large organisations, seeing what they were doing at the moment, and selling them punch card equipment.
Right. And did you do that quite successfully?
Very
Right. And this was mainly what, in Johannesburg?
well. Mainly in Johannesburg, but I was sent to other because I was considered the best salesman they had. They used to send me elsewhere. Pretoria mainly.
Mm. So you were in your late 20s by this time.
Yeah.
And your Afrikaans must have come in use then in Pretoria.
No.
Oh.
No, the sort of thing I would go to a government department where they spoke English.
Okay.
It might have been useful.
Mm. And what do you remember of the politics at the time?
Well, I'll come to it after this. Is that
Okay.
I was very, very lucky. The first computers started being marketed.
Right.
And we formed a computer that the firm I was with,
Horowitz.
Horowitz, but it then became International Computers and Tabulators,
Okay.
ICT.
Okay.
And they,
And were they American?
British,
British company?
but